Hey guys, I'm actually on my way to go get a new water pump right now. This one right here has a bit of a problem with it. So one of the intake ports looks like someone tried to take it out with an Allen wrench, broke it off, and then tried to weld it to the water pump. And then on top of that, it's just used, nasty and dirty. And I just bought this thing last night, mind you. So, I did get it from AutoZone, but I am going to take this back. There's my receipt. And get a new one to put on my car because this is just ridiculous. You should never have to go into a place and then have to go back and get something because they didn't check their product to make sure that it still worked. They didn't check it to make sure there was no damage on it. Like, matter of fact, I'll actually show you guys. Here's the pump. Looks alright. I mean, new pump things, but that. Yeah, you can see right there, it looks like an Allen wrench was in there. They got it stuck. It looks like they were trying to take that out. They used one that was too small, was the first problem. And you can see that in there. It looks like it snapped off, and they tried to weld it to it. They tried to weld it back together to this thing, and either still couldn't get that off, or I really don't know what they did. My personal opinion, I probably would have used pliers, but this whole thing just screams sketch. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a good pump. It's got the resistance, so it's not going to spin around freely, but it does feel smooth, and you can't hear any scraping on the back, that's good. But yeah, that's a problem right there. And I originally wasn't going to take it back. I was like, oh, we'll just take that out with a pair of pliers or something, but my dad convinced me. He was like, well, it might be bad. It might just be a garbage pump. You don't want to use a garbage pump. So, yeah, I am actually going to take this back. And after that, we'll be installing it. You guys ever just think, I wonder when this piece of shit is going to break down? Because that's a thought that goes through my mind every day when I drive this thing. First off, we have bad connection. So I got a phantom surge in my somewhere in my car. So the wires are like touching together or something, and that's making my car just die while it's not, it makes the battery die while it's not running. I haven't actually had it. It's an on and off thing, weirdly enough, and it hasn't been happening lately. Something else is, under this carpet, there is nothing. No floorboards, nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. It's just straight carpet into the open world, and that's all that there is to it. And third thing is that my frame just broke a little bit ago, and now my backlift wheel just kind of makes me wobble if I step on it. Like, you can see that there. The whole car just wobbled when I stepped on it there, especially when I get up to higher speeds. That's when the thing really stops going around. It just does not want to mess around. It starts swinging back and forth like crazy. Alright guys, so unfortunately O'Reilly's did not actually have, or AutoZone actually, tried to take the pump back. The guy was cool about it and everything. Unfortunately, they didn't actually have a pump ready. So I'm actually going to have to come back later tonight to get another pump. And then I'll be able to show you guys how to install that. Alright guys, a small update. I actually called up to O'Reilly's, and it turns out they have a pump for cheaper, and I can just pick it up right now because they already have it in stock. So that's where I'm headed right now, and I'll update you if they got what I need. Alright, update on the water pump. I actually did come up to O'Reilly's and I did buy it, and they actually opened it in front of me and showed me just how much better they are than AutoZone at their quality control. Especially just like, look at this. It doesn't look like it's been used. It doesn't look like it's been tore apart. And look, we even got parts that we need. Parts that we actually need. This is just, I don't know, I'm just so happy that they actually care about their customers. At least where I live. Anyways, AutoZone, I mean, you saw what they did to me. They gave me that broken off Allen wrench welded piece of garbage, which, yeah, that was just unacceptable. They really should have checked that first to make sure that nothing was wrong with it. And you could tell, like, this one's still even in the packaging, or at least mostly. If somebody did use it, it was rechecked, all that. It doesn't look like, I don't even see any scuffs or anything on it, which is crazy to me. From what after I seen at AutoZone, like, that's just insane to me. But yeah, I'll be installing that when I get home. Alrighty guys, I got the new water pump set up. I'm ready to go. I actually did have to take this piece off my old water pump, but that's fine. Other than that, it came with everything else. Like you see, I got some sealer on this end, and over here it actually came with a gasket. And I'm going to show you guys how I try to put this on here. And it's not very smart, but this is how I'm going to do it. Alright, let's hope you guys don't fall over up there. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hold this with one hand and try and put a nut on the bottom, or actually the top screw, with the other. This is really hard, and you should probably put something under it. This thing weighs a little bit. And there's the other reason. I'm going to reach over and grab the wrench. Switch it over to Tighten. Screw that thing on in there. Oh no, it's not going in. That's nice. Okay, now that's in. Reach over. Oh shoot. Drop our other bolt. Reach down and grab it. Try to put that one in this side. Oh man, I can already tell the sealer's not going to stay on. So that's cool. Alright, there we go. Wow. Wrench turned around on me. Okay. Okay, I think we still got a big enough gap over there to where we could probably slip that seal down in there. Alright, so I'm gonna run over the other side real quick. You guys still see? There we go. And I'm actually going to try and slip the seal down right in that little crack. I have no idea if it will fit or not. I have a feeling it won't. I have a feeling it's not going to, but if so, I'll just loosen the other bolts up a little bit. Like I said, there's probably a really easy way to do this, but I like to do everything the hard way, I guess. Okay. So this is actually going to be the bottom bolt right there. It's going to go right in between them two pillars. Ooh, okay, I don't know if that, I think that might actually worked. Weirdly enough. See if I can get this started in here. If so, I think we'll be golden. Yeah, no, okay. So, it might not be down far enough. I think might be the problem over here. Okay, let's try it now. Feels like it's on metal. Not too sure though. Oh, this is ridiculous. I think I got it in there. Okay, I did. So basically what I did was I just pressed down on the back of the wrench. So if it was getting hung up on that seal, it just push right past it. Alright, that one's tightened down. This one, I don't know if you guys can still see me over here. Then this one. Now hopefully this sealer actually works. Because as I'm looking at it, it does look like it's sealed all the way around. It's looking good so far. You just press down on there, like that, there. Okay. Let's tighten up this part right. Oh. Hopefully that water's not. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's water coming out of this part. Hopefully, I don't need to seal this bolt off, because that would suck. I don't think I will, but we'll find out here in a little bit. Okay, so I just realized a very medium-sized, large to small problem. Literally none of these have any threads in them, and that could be a big problem because my power steering pump, I can't remember if it locks up to this one or this one or this one, but if it locks up to if it locks up to this, I'm screwed. I have to tap that if so. And well, I'm kind of scared to line this up real quick, but I'll be right back when I do. Okay, so it turns out this is the one that it lines up with, and that is going to need tapped. As far as I know, hold on, let me check real quick. Okay. Yeah, this is the bolt that'll go in there. Yeah. That's a problem. Okay, hold on. I think this one might be a little bigger. Yeah, no. There's a small problem there. That is not tapped. We got a couple things over there. I'm gonna go look at them and see if I can find one that'll fit, but I'm positive that none of those are gonna work. Alright guys, it's been a minute. I actually got what I needed, and I did not rethread that, and I'll tell you why in a second, but I did get a little bit done, and that is because I completely forgot. Oh, it wasn't even that I forgot. I just had a lot of trouble getting this entire thing together, so I guess I'll just go over with you what I did, and yeah, you can see right there my belt is not straight with that. Oh, man, that is horrible. I might need a bigger spacer for the back of this to make that straight, but actually, I'm looking down there at the larger pulley now, and that is also not, oh, this isn't straight at all because there's no bolts in the bottom two of this fan. I completely forgot about that. They're actually right up here. But yeah, so I got a little bit done. So let me start over with the first thing, and I'll just walk you through what I did. So basically, I put this, I got, let me see how I can, so basically I got a bolt that was 2.5 inches long on the thread part, not including the top, but it was 2.5 inches long on the thread, and it went all the way through the water pump. So actually, give me one sec. Okay, so basically, this is the part right here that we were trying to, remember that we were trying to get that bolt through. And it had no threads. This one does have threads. As you can see right there, it does actually have threads. But the other one didn't. So basically, I got a bolt that was about 2.5 inches long. The thread stuck out about that far past the end, and then I got a nut to put on the back of it. Both of them were like this, so they had the washer basically built in. But that's basically what I did. So anyways, back to what I was saying. After I got that piece down there on, I had to make sure I pulled it out a little bit because it kept getting stuck on the end of this bracket down here. Now, you can't really see because it's kind of dark. But basically, it's a cutout through the middle, and then it cuts off into a T, and it kept getting stuck in the T when I put this bolt on. So I undid this one, and took that one off and pulled it to the side, and with my other hand, I threaded in this bolt up here. And that's how I got this on. You can see it's not actually tight or anything. Well, it likes to think it's tight. But basically, that's what I did. And as you can see, I do not have the belt on this one. Oh, where's it at? Oh, it's way down there. The belt's actually way down on the bottom of the pulley down there. But it's actually not on this right now because I don't have anybody to pull on this to make it tight. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, and for this side, this is the part that took the most work out of it all. Basically, what happened was this alternator and this belt, man, it was just the biggest hassle I've ever had. Basically, what happened was, man, the alternator, the little Allen wrench, would not go in for the life of it. Like, it refused to go down inside. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think what happened was it actually got stuck on that seal a little bit, so it must have pushed that out of the way. And then this piece, this went on pretty easy. Actually just, this is the ground wire. I actually just took that, put it right in front there, and then this actually has a thread on it, thankfully. If it didn't have a thread, I would have had to find a bolt for that too, and I was not prepared to do that. But I think I checked beforehand, so I think I was good there. And then for this belt, basically what happened was I had to put it around this and the fan pulley, and then line it a tiny bit around the crank pulley, and then take a wrench with a large socket and turn the entire engine over so the belt would go on it. And you have no idea how many tries that took me because the belt refused to stay on it. But now we're going to get the fan on the rest of the way. You can see it's crooked right there. You can see that gap right there because, well, we don't have two of the bolts in there. Okay, and all 4 fan bolts are now in there. They're not tightened down still. I just got them hand tightened in there. But I wasn't aware in the last video you guys couldn't see what I was talking about for taking the fan off and stuff to make it easier. But basically what I meant was I was talking about this, the fan guard. If you take that off, it'll make things so much easier to work on. But I didn't want to deal with it because well, yeah, it's got a hole in it. The other one up there is cracked. Half these bolts don't even go in the spots right. The guy before me cut the bottom of it out. Like, it's just so much work. I honestly can't even deal with this stuff. But yeah, take this off and it'll just make the entire process so much easier. Trust me, you're gonna think that like taking things apart isn't the way to go because you're gonna forget all the stuff. Just put all the bolts with the part like in the correct spots that the parts went in. Like, see these, when you take this off, just lay it on the ground and then put these bolts in the top of it where they went. Or they're probably, I'm pretty sure there'll be some bolts down there, but mine's in pieces, so I really wouldn't know. But it looked like there were some bolts to hold it in down there, so it didn't like that. But basically, you just put all the bolts in the right spots and then install your fan. It's so much easier, or uninstall it. It just makes everything so much easier. But anyways, basically what we're going to do is take our wrench and tighten them bolts down. Alright, now that you got all of your fan bolts tightened up, you're going to want to, if you did like I did and put the belt on before you tightened it up, and you can see the belt actually straightened up there a lot better. And let me see real quick. I think that is mostly straight. I'm not too sure. I think it might actually be the alternator that's off now. Let me go to the other side and check real quick. Alright, actually looking at it now, it is definitely the crankshaft that's off. You can see that little bit where that fan pulley is sticking out just a tiny bit farther than the crank pulley. Just right up in there. Yeah, there, as in pointing at everything. Yeah. Well, I don't really know how to fix that. I guess I could put some spacers behind my... Oh, yeah, that is what I could do. I could put some spacers behind my crank pulley, but that is for another day. Yeah, you can see, you can tell there's a big curve right there. That's not good, but, well, it works this way, so I guess I'll keep it like that. Now, just so you know, you do not want to have your belt like this. This is not good for your belt being sideways like that. If you can fix it, you should, but right now I'm just trying to get the engine running. I might fix it in the future. I can tell right here, though, an easy way to fix this, just looking at it, you can see that the alternator is farther behind than the fan, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about that fan. You can see that if it goes back any farther, it'll be scraping against the water pump. There's no space for it. So what you could do is get some washers like these. Get some washers from, I got these from Farm and Home. You can get them Tractor Supply, anywhere like that. And actually put them behind the bolts that mount up to the water pump. And what that's going to do is move your alternator out, so that way your belt's going to be straight. And that'll only fix certain things. You can do the exact same thing with your crank pulley, but I'm not going to do it. Basically what you do for your crank pulley is where your 3 bolts go on around the pulley on the inside, you'll take those out and take the pulley off, and then put some spacers or some washers right back behind where your bolts go into, and then put the pulley back on and put your bolts through, and then I'll push it out just a tiny bit depending on what kind of spacers you use. Alright, and with that being said, there's not actually much more we can do. One thing I didn't show you guys was that when I, hold on, there we go. When I did put this, this here thingamabob, the water pump, when I did put the water pump back on, I also slipped this hose on with it, and I'm sorry I couldn't show you guys that. But basically, I mean, I could probably just show you with this. It's pretty much the same thing. So you'll just take it, and this one's going to be a lot harder because it's broke, but you're going to kind of push one edge down to the side and then just kind of try and slip it on over. Now, some Vaseline or some oil will help. 2 hands will also help, so I'll be right back when I get it. Well, would you look at that? I shut the camera off and got it on with 1 hand. That's pretty cool, I guess. Then you'll take your clamp that we moved up here so we didn't lose it, slide it back on down, run over to the other car at the speed of light, grab your trusty screwdriver, flathead of course, and then we're going to tighten that down. Alright, and once you got that tightened down, you are basically done. Now, I know I didn't put the power steering pump belt back on, but that is because I can slide mine back and forth to tension it or untension the belt. And I just thought I'd tell you guys that just so you knew the process. But I'm not going to put mine on right now because I'm low on fluid and I don't want the car running to tear my bearings. But anyways, that's going to be all for this episode. If you guys liked it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to fill your radiator up with water.